Hi guys, welcome back to episode 43 of our Q1 FY26 earnings season. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about a very small cap company called as Afcom Holdings. Jiska market cap is around 2,283, 300 crores, somewhere in that range. And the company is targeting a very bullish sort of, bullish sort of guidance, bullish sort of revenue for the upcoming year. Just to give you an idea before we start the video, like just to give you a rough idea, like why am I emphasizing on the word bullish so much, is because if you look at their March 2025 revenue, the company ended the year with around 240 crores in revenue. And in FY26, that is for this year, they're planning to target around 1,000 crore in revenue. That is roughly 3x in just a span of 1 year. That is what the sales they are targeting. So how is this company planning to achieve this revenue? Can they even do it? And what does a financial statement look like? What is the business model? What are the risks associated over here? Every single thing we will discuss in this video that is there. And before I start this video, I just want to give you a kind reminder that our investment checklist workshop, the prices are going to be hiked for it by 9 p.m. today. That is 17th of September. So by 9 p.m., we are going to hike it to, around 5,000 rupees plus GST. So make sure you get your hands on it. If you haven't already gotten your hands on it, make sure you do and don't miss this opportunity. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to start by sharing the screen. So because, we will start with this Afcom Holdings. And the first thing that we will be doing over here is explaining the business model. Again, I don't guys, let me know if you guys know what to do. Like the thing is, like whenever I'm sharing my screen and I'm doing it via Google Meet, and somehow I'm not able to share the entire screen, like I do not know why. Okay, fine. It's like I can't share the entire screen, like I need to like switch between the tabs. So that is the thing. And it takes time also. So let me know what should I do if I have to like present the entire screen, like it's just not allowing me. That is it. Uh Yeah, I just do. Okay, before we start, let us understand what is Afcom Holdings do. Because when you look at Afcom Holdings ka entire model is similar to your any other logistics chain or logistics company. It is merely a logistic company only, just like you have your SJ Logistics, Tiger Logistics, same space it operates. Although it operates in the same space, the business model is entirely different. Okay, and we will tackle as to like how is it different? How is the entire business model different? Okay, पहला चीज है दिस एंटायर ये जो कंपनी है इट इज स्टार्टेड बाय अ कपल ऑफ डिफेंस पीपल मतलब ये जो रिटायर्ड ऑफिसर्स होते हैं ना once they finish their term in the army in the air force a couple of them got together they came together certain captains wing commanders and all of these people and they started this it was started roughly in the early like 2014 2015 they started applying for license and everything but it took a lot of years to get a license and finally operate over here now what does Afcom Holdings do? These people are, like I told you, these people operate a logistics company where they help you transport your whatever the packages from point A to point B. But when you talk about logistics company, I believe all of you guys, if you watched my logistics videos, I've covered a lot of companies over there. You would have seen there are different kinds of logistics. The first kind of logistic is your multimodal, right? Where you are responsible, not just you have like only airlines, but you have every single kind of transportation you can provide to your customer, whether it is airlines, whether it is a train, bus, everything. The second kind of logistics, the difference comes is, are you going to take care of the entire thing? Matlab, client say goods leke, you have to collect it till reaching your supplier, right? All the way till the supplier ko, wo goods ko dena. That also you should take care of. So will you do this entire thing? Or third kind is like, are you just a middleman? Maybe because aap agar logistics dekhte ho na, there is it is a huge supply chain because you have to collect the goods from the customer se collect karne ke baad unke warehouse se aapko you have to take it to the a consignment place mein you have to get all the kya bolte usko from the all the authorities you have to get the signatures get the clearance after that you have to send it in a ship or an airlines after that you have to again go wherever you're landing wahan pe unka officer se aapko clearance lena hai fir wahan se aapko warehouse mein chalana hai us warehouse se fir after that it goes to a client ko location so when you talk about this entire thing there are certain companies that take care of from point A to point B that is the entire structure that I explained you they take care of the logistics solution for the entire thing. And there are certain companies that take care only for a part of it. Maybe from, when you talk about point A to point Z, they probably are taking, taking responsibility only between point E and point F. So we have seen, right, whether we talk about SJ Logistics, when we talk about Tiger Logistics, when we talk about what is that, AVG Logistics, Premier Road Lines, right? We've seen, the differences that are there. By the way, if you guys want to understand more about the logistics space, go to my YouTube channel. There is this logistics sector bol ke ek playlist hai. Make sure you watch that and you will understand the entire difference between all the, because we have around, I believe, 4 to 5 logistics company that are listed in BSE and NEC respectively. But each and every company that are there, although they operate in the logistics space, it is completely different. Like head and toe is completely different. So similarly, when you talk about this Afcom Holdings that is there, पहला बात करते हैं what kind of transportation do they provide? Because when you talk about all the other logistics that we have, like Tiger and all, they provide multimodal, which is all the 3 modes of transportation. Versus when we talk about this Afcom Holdings, they cater only to your airline transportation. मतलब सिर्फ हवाई जहाज में आपका जो goods है, it transports from point A to point B. This is the number one difference. Please understand, they are only associated by providing you a logistics solution through or via airlines and airlines alone. No ship, no road, nothing. Just airlines, airlines, airlines. The second difference that we talk about over here, like I told you, now you can see na, ye entire supply chain mein, like I told you, point A se point B, ye pura karta hai. Like how, we have certain companies like Premier Road Line does, or are they taking part of, only a certain point, maybe from point E to point F? What are these people doing? So अगर आप ये logistics देखते हो, मतलब if you have to send something by air, right? आपको एक कुछ सामान भेजना है air में, ये कैसे चलता है? पहले एक shipper होता है, which is probably people like you or maybe a big company, maybe DHL को, एक बड़ा shipment, उनको मिला है, which they have to send from India to US, okay? ये समझते हैं. So this पहले क्या करता है? It goes from their house or their warehouse से, they take it, road transportation होता है, it takes, to उनका वो जो बड़ा एक warehouse होता है ना, like, where they how do I put this, where they segregate into, कि like, or depending on the route, depending on the type of goods it is there, everything, एक जो specialized place होता है, एक बोल सकते हो आप, एक बड़ा warehouse, जहाँ पे एक पूरा एक process चलता है, where they segregate the goods based on the type of goods, based on the route and everything. उसके बाद it goes through the custom clearance and everything, right? मतलब जो भी airport authority है and all of it. And then after that, or whoever the airlines that is handling it, right? उसके बाद now from one airport से दूसरे airport में लेके जाने का काम किसका है अभी? Afcom Airlines. This is where it comes. Now once it reaches the airport, it has to board the plane and reach from, let's say, India का Bangalore से San Francisco in the US, right? This entire intermediate journey that is there from point, let's say this is A, B, C, this is D. Only from this point C to point D का ये जो journey है, who takes care of it? Afcom Airlines. That is it, okay? And then after that क्या करता है ये लोग जाके यहाँ पे अगेन इट गोज ओवर देयर उनका DHL का ऑफिस में अगेन इट गोज गेट सॉर्टेड आउट कहाँ पे जाना है यूएस में सैन फ्रांसिस्को LA एंड एवरीथिंग गोज टू द वेयरहाउस गोज टू हुएवर you have to send the package to. So this is how the entire structure works, like, and this is the entire business model, okay? This is what Afcom Holding does, where they are an airline operator. They're basically a logistics company that deals with your cargos, not with passengers, deals only and only with cargos and transporting it from point A to point B. Now when we talk about it, let us see what kind of cargos do these people do, okay? I will have to switch to another PPT, guys, just, or maybe it is here only, I don't know. Let's see. What kind of cargos do they provide? This is, by the way, the management ka PPT only. As I told you, right, everybody is over here. You can see, like, sub, kya bolte hai, ex-defense officers and everything. Good Lord. See, this is one thing that this is why I prefer to do my own PPT, because we can go, in a flow. Okay, so what are the type of cargos do they handle? Let me just stop this. Okay, I think you guys can see now, right? Okay, so what are the kind of cargoes that they do? General cargo जो है, these people do that. या वरना आपका fresh supply है, your fruits and vegetable, dairy products, that pharmaceutical products, maybe certain products like priority shipping जो होता है वो करता है. Dangerous cargo like आपका fuel, आपका batteries and all of it. High value cargo like your gold, silver, आपका precious metals. Project cargo का मतलब है, now you might see companies like Anup Engineering, right? जो एक listed company है, they make this big बड़ा बड़ा एक gas chamber बनाते हैं and all of it. Now this entire structure, this entire structure will be like, probably, like huge and width, right? एक बड़ा, you might have seen, right, on the road, you will see, right, एक बड़ा से एक structure जा रहा है, उसका like, in that truck there are 16 wheels and all. So all of these kind of structure must be sent in one piece alone. Like इसको तोड़ के you can't go and assemble in a client location. So those kind of cargo, या आपका documents and everything, जो express में आप बोलते हो ना, like express delivery, these are the kind of cargoes that are there. These are the kind of what do you tell, the goods that they help you in what do you tell, in transporting. This is what they do. Okay, and yahan pe the entire thing, like, why are they focusing here? Why did they start this entire journey as to, like, become an air cargo business over here? Because they realized, once they entered into this space, they realized India में अगर आप बात करो कि like एक जगह से दूसरे जगह में अगर आपको air shipping करना है, right, if you have to send from India to US or any other location over there, one, it is very expensive. The second thing over here is, forget about expensive, the kind of, even though you're sending it via air, the shipping time is very, very high. So they realize these are the two huge problem areas that are there. So can we provide something, where we can reduce the shipping time, not just the shipping time, but also make it as affordable as possible, right? And this is where the entire business model came, and these people started it over here. So again, the entire thing over here is इनका transit time low है, right? You can even deliver cargo in less than 24 hours, and so they will have entire connectivity है. They provide you the entire thing कि like, एक जगह से you can track and trace and get to know, where the shipment is and all of it. Okay, who are these people's client? इनका client कौन है? Who do they work with? कहाँ पे है वो slide? Yes, so these people work with, again, DHL. This company, I do not know how to pronounce it, Kune Nagel. It is a very big supply chain company that is there. Now you might ask, like, yaar, ye DHL, VHL के साथ ये कौन करता है? You can see that, right? Majority of the clients that are there, these are, एक business है. मतलब they are not for somebody like you and me, like normal people, right? It is mostly उनका जो सारा का सारा customers है, mostly it is B2B businesses only, right? मतलब, DHL, all the Schnecker, Geodis and everything. So like think about it now, DHL also for that matter, ये लोग भी क्या करते हैं? It is a courier service ना, एक logistic service है. Now they might not have their own airlines, right? To, like what I was explaining in that, in that slide, the first slide, they might collect the shipment. Like for example, if I have to send something, I will send from, let's say, from India to US, I will take DHL as my courier partner. Okay, let me just, again, guys, please let me know, how do you like here in this, where is it? Again here, right? So what DHL will do, let's say if I have to ship something from India to US, DHL will collect my parcel, they will take it to their warehouse, they'll get it cleared, custom ka clearance karna unka headache hai, right? But they might not have their airline to transport from India to US. Iske liye they will use Afcom airline. And then after that, again, DHL ka agents, yahan pe it will get cleared. DHL ka agents will get my goods cleared from the US ka authority. They will take it to their warehouse in the US, and wahan se truck उठा के जिसको भी मुझे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन करना है, यूएस में किसी को भी, मेरे रिश्तेदार को, वहां पे वो जाके ट्रांसपोर्टेशन करके मेरे को देता है. सो नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ दे वर्क. मतलब अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स मोस्ट ऑफ योर कोरियर पार्टनर्स that is there, it could be, आपका I'm not telling like Blue Dart or anything, yeah, because they're not their client, but right, many courier partners are there. You might have seen in your day-to-day life also, if you have to transport something, maybe from India to US, UK, Europe, या कोई भी other countries that are there, you will find many courier operators that are there. But all of these courier operators might not have their own airline, and that is where Afcom comes into place. Now other than this, ये आप देख सकते हो कि like भाई, मतलब यहाँ पे you might see कि like, अरे क्यों ये airlines के साथ इसका क्या रिश्ता है? Airlines के साथ, they are not the clients, they are tie-ups. Because see, think about it, when the entire airline business, right, it is a most horrible business. I would say airlines is one of the most I would say a boon to a mankind, the invention that is there, right? I mean, think about it, a rectangular box can make you reach from point A to point B. Like it's really marvelous, but it is the most horrible absolutely horrible business that is out there. Trust me, for someone who's coming from this background, a lot of y'all might not know. A lot of y'all think that I have a finance background, but I don't have any formal education in finance. I'm actually an aeronautical engineer, and I was a design engineer where my clients used to be Bombardier and Boeing, and we used to design aircrafts for them. So trust me when I tell this, like horrible, horrible state, highly regulated industry, highly capex intensive industry. You do not want to work here either. It's just a shithole. But anyways, like why, think about this. When you are going from one airport to the other airport, one is you need a permission to land in that airport. Second is, again, there are many things involved over here in terms of regulatory aspects. Now you might not have this. Like for example, they might want to, like Afcom Holdings might want to send the cargo maybe maybe to Vietnam, maybe to Thailand, but they have only license to land their airplanes in India, so probably in Europe, and some countries in Europe and US. So in that way, what they will do, they will go to the nearest hub. Maybe they'll go, Afcom Holdings will take their plane from India, and they might go to the nearest hub, probably Dubai. Baha se they will take a connecting, they will use Etihad, Turkish Airlines, Virgin Atlantic, whatever it is, to reach other places, like maybe like Thailand, Vietnam, and everything. So inka planes jaake wahan pe land hoke, they will finish the shipment that is there. I hope you understand. It's more like you can, it is similar to like how we have connecting flights. Like let's say आपको India से US में जाना है, probably Indigo will not go from India to US ना, कोई भी direct flight नहीं है. So Indigo will connect you to probably it will take you from here to Dubai. Dubai से आपको शायद British Airways या कुछ American Airlines में आपको बेच देगा. It is a similar way, and that is what it is. Now यहाँ पे tie-ups becomes very important also for them, because it becomes very difficult for you to get clearance from every single airport, every single authority, every single government that is out there, right? And you might want to see, as Afcom Holdings, when will I make more money? The more number of locations I reach, the more number of the access that I have, right? Then DHL will also prefer me. Everybody will also prefer me, right? But imagine if DHL is coming to me and I'm telling like, "Hi, मैं तो सिर्फ US or UK का operate, I operate only on that route. I'm sorry, I can't operate." Do you think DHL would prefer me? But on the other hand, if I'm Afcom Holdings and if I tell DHL, "Bhai, मेरे पास सब route है, कहाँ पे जाना चाहते हो? Vietnam, Thailand, UAE, where do you want to go? I will help you take there." Obviously, any courier partner will be associated with you. Then it becomes easier for them also. They have to deal with one person rather than dealing with like 10 people around. So that is the thing. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो. This is the entire thing. You can see यहाँ पे, this is their connectivity. As you can see, let me just zoom because I can't see. I don't know if you guys can see. Here it explains कि like direct connectivity का है and interland connection का है. Direct connectivity मतलब they only can reach, so they have from Chennai all the way to Vietnam, Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Maldives. And when you talk about interland connectivity, where they have to use a third party airline operators to reach that location, there it is to the US, Europe, Middle East, etc. In fact, recently with the Middle East क्या हुआ है, they have signed up with this company, this airline company called as Fly Dubai. Okay, so going forward, up till a certain point, they can use any hub, and after that Fly Dubai will take their goods and transport it to somebody else. So now you understand. Now I hope you understand कि like ये business model कैसा है. Now explaining the same thing, you understand ये logistics sector में इतना profit margin क्यों raise करते हैं, right? Because think about this. Look at the amount of people that are involved over here just to transport your good from point A to point B, right? Like I was telling you, the entire airline business, it looks very fancy from the outside, but only a person, let me tell you this, only a person who's working in that industry knows how absolute crazy the industry is. Because let me tell you something, when I used to work as a design engineer, you might see this, आपका जो cabins डालते हो ना, cabins में आपका luggage डालते हो ना, and or even the simple thing as lavatory is your washrooms in your planes. When we design that, we have a specific kind of screw that we use to design. And my God, उस screw का भी there is a particular dimension, there is a particular thing. एक screw का different names होता है, different dimensions होता है. It is absolutely crazy. And one screw goes wrong, your entire design project goes off the roof, and you could be working on it for like a year. Gone. That one screw can absolutely fucking kill your project. So it is, if you're working in any part of this industry, it is that horrible. So think about it, right? यहाँ पे आपका, now you understand कि like profit margin यहाँ पे For all this logistics company, especially if you're dealing with an airline company, it becomes क्यों इतना razor thin होते हैं? Because look at the amount of people that are involved. सिर्फ एक goods to send from point A to point B. That is one thing. The second what we don't consider is the amount of regulatory people that is there. मतलब आपको एक airport से दूसरे airport, even if it is a domestic airport, आपको land करना है, you have to pay the landing fees, you have to get इतना सारा आपका documentation करना पड़ेगा, इतना सारा regulatory approval करना पड़ेगा. Every single time 100 regulatory approvals for your aeroplane, for the person who's driving the plane, flying the plane, for the people involved, the crew involved on the ground level, the crew involved on the every single thing. It's just a very, very high capex capex involved industry. Anyways, now let's talk about it. ये the entire thing that is there. इसका Q1 मतलब if you talk about them, how are they transporting these goods? मतलब खुद का flight है, दूसरों का flight ले रहा है, क्या है? So if you look at them, they have 2 flights as of now. Okay, the current fleet that is there. Okay, इनका 2 flight है, and sorry, इनका 3 flight है. Sorry, not 2, 3 flights that are there. And now going forward, that is there. That is in September. उन्होंने बोला था September 10th में they will add another flight, and in October, probably in 15th of this year, they will add another flight. So totally they will have 5 flights. Now, when you talk about flights over here, do they own this flight? No, they don't own this flight. भाई एक flight own करने में आपको पूरे जिंदगी भी काम करो नहीं हो जाएगा. All these flights that are there are leased. These 3 flights that you can see, these are leased flights. मतलब क्या? Again, when you talk about leased flight, there are 2 kinds of leases. One is wet lease and the other one is dry lease. Wet lease का मतलब क्या है? Let's say, for example, I'm just giving you an example over here. Let's say you are leasing the flight from a company called ABC. Now, ABC company बोल रहे कि like भाई मैं तुमको flight भी दूंगा, I will give you the crew, I will give you the pilot. मतलब entire thing जो flight में आपको चाहिए, I will give the entire, from the manpower to everything. Your only job is to take care of the operations. This is called as wet lease. Dry lease का मतलब क्या है? The company will give you only the flight. उसके बाद pilot को hire करना, air hostess को hire करना, everything is your headache. The company's headache. That is AFCOM का headache. Now, when you look at it over here, when you look at AFCOM Holdings, इनका सारा is dry lease. Dry lease का मतलब they are only leasing the aeroplane, not the staff, nobody else. And most of the companies that you will see, whether it is a passenger operated or cargo operated company, they prefer dry lease because obviously as a company, you can set your own standards, your own operations and everything with your staff. You have more control than, let's say, using a third party का staff that is there. Okay. Now, मैंने बोला था ना in the beginning of the video that is there, ये लोग 1000 crore का target कर रहे हैं in this year, probably like tripling the revenue, 3x कर रहे हैं revenue. How is it possible? Like I told you, where is that Q1 FY26 highlights? Sorry, I was wrong about this. They have only 2 flights. They will add 3 more in this year. Not ulta मैंने बोला था 2 है. They will add 3 more in this year. Okay, just वो एक confusion था मेरा भी. Okay. Anyways, how do they plan to achieve this 1000 crore in revenue? Because अभी का जो है, right? The current situation that is there. Almost all the flights are running at, I can say, optimal capacity. Now, if these 3 new flights come, क्या होगा? उनका, it will open up new routes for them. Second is capacity बढ़ जाएगा, which means I can take more number of trips. Think about it. How will this company, AFCOM Holdings that is there, will make money? First is, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा नया route पे जाना है. More number of routes you go, the most preferred partner you will become for the courier partners. Second thing, the airlines that you have, right? The flight that is there, उस plane को हमेशा it has to be on air. If it's sitting idle, obviously you will not make money. Third is the goods that you're carrying, they must be high value goods. मतलब क्या होता है? मतलब think about it. अगर आप सिर्फ courier कर रहे हो, मतलब some documents that are there, they are, मतलब see how do this entire thing happens is आपका weight के हिसाब से you get paid, right? Higher the weight, more the money that is there. Now obviously if you have low weight क्या होगा? आपको shipment तो करना ही पड़ेगा, and on top of that the space is empty. Higher weight में क्या है? आपका volume शायद कम होगा, but value will be more. At the same time, you get more benefit on that trip also. So you need to have both more number of goods, more number of routes, and most of your goods need to have high value items. So you get, you make more money in one single trip alone rather than making, 2 to 3 trips. Because जितना ज़्यादा trip करोगे उतना आपका, fuel भी जाएगा and everything. So the maximized return you can get is by getting a lot of high value goods in a single trip that is there. So ये लोग क्या करें? By adding these 3 new fleets that is there by the end of this year, उसके बाद, it will open up a lot of volume growth, value growth for them. And as a result that is said, they can achieve this 1000 crore of revenue. That is the entire game changer for this. That is the addition of 3 new fleet that is 3 new fleet that is there to their airlines. Okay, now ये होगा या नहीं होगा, that is where the entire game comes to. अगर होता है तो जिंगलाला, but if it doesn't, the same company, might not show you that 1000 crore in terms of revenue, and everything can go bust also. So the entire thing comes, how soon will they be able to join the fleet? One thing I can tell you, the third fleet that is there, which was supposed to be joining by 10 September, and the fourth fleet is supposed to join by October of this year, 2025, there has been a delay. Third fleet, abhi tak, it has not been integrated at all. So it looks like thoda sa there is this shakiness, like, क्या ये 1000 करोड़ कर पाएगा या कि नहीं. एंड यहाँ पे ऑब्वियसली ना, इट्स नॉट इजी टू लीज अ प्लेन, राइट? लाइक फॉरगेट अबाउट बाइंग अ प्लेन, इवन लीजिंग अ प्लेन आपको लाइक इतना सारा, you have to get the money. It's not easy, it's expensive. Second is the amount of regulations involved. उस plane को वो leaser से, to get it over here to your Indian airports, you have to get clearance from the government, also clearance from the authorities, airport authorities, DGCA, or civil aviation, so many other things that are there. So obviously, certain times the timelines, whatever they can give, it can get more delayed than what you can expect. Okay, now let us check uska Q1 FY26 result kaisa hai. How has this Q1 FY26 result been? Is it on track or not? Okay, Q1 FY26 ka agar main baat karu, if you look at the sales has grown. Sales has grown by 40 crore tha in the last June, and now it is 119 crore. So almost 3x in terms of, not 3x, I think it's 200%, right? 40 से 200, 40 से 190 to 120 crore कर रहे हो. So almost कितना 189% से 198% से आपका sales growth हुआ है. If you talk about the profitability went from 1 crore से 27 crore. Okay, वो भी है, right? So overall numbers, if you look at it in terms of numbers and everything, it has been great. Now let us look at the other aspect, which is the Q1 FY26 ka highlight. Okay, now like I told you over here, the few things that you have to look in this sector is, first thing is कि like आपका volume growth, कितना volumes आपने handle किया है, this also has to increase. If you look at it, यहाँ पे उन्होंने 5278 का tons they have handled. I will tell you one flaw in this Q1 FY26 का PPT is they have given highlights of Q1 FY26. But Q1 FY20, instead of giving highlights of Q1 FY26, what they should have done is Q1 FY25 को column करना था, Q1 FY26 को column करना था, and then they should have given the percentage change. Because although these numbers look very, very impressive, right? I'm pretty sure these has to be impressive, because वरना वो 189% का, that sales growth नहीं होता. I mean, literally the sales has gone from 40 crore in one quarter in last June to almost कितना 120 crore in this quarter. So obviously, अगर आपका sales show इतना तेजी से बढ़ रहा है, then all of the other metrics, that is volume growth, value growth, should also go up. There is no other way. It makes no sense. But by what percentage has my volume growth gone up? By what percentage has my, that I don't know. Like, see, यहाँ पे उन्होंने दिया कि like 5278 is a volume. But Q1 FY25 में कितना था? Like, what do I compare? See, anything is good or bad based, it completely depends on relativity, right? मतलब किस हद से बढ़ा, किस हद से गिरा, that is very important. So I don't have anything to compare to, right? मतलब किससे compare करूं मैं यहाँ पे, right? So, but I will explain each and every metrics for you over here. पहला बात है sales, which is good, which is grown by 40 से 118, 120 crore, good. Second is volumes is also great, ठीक है. So other than that, number of pure charters done ये छोड़ दो, number of trips performed, this becomes very important, because जितना ज़्यादा आपका trips बढ़ रहा है, उतना आपका airplane is not sitting idle. It is, the inventory is getting utilized over and over again. So this is good, right? Number of trips has gone up, great. Okay, the other thing I will tell you over here is this: you can't really calculate this average revenue per trip and average kg per trip. This is a bit of a flawed concept. You can look at it only in terms of volume growth, which is this volume handled and the number of trips performed. This will give you a better idea in terms of what has the volume growth been like, what is the, the number of trips performed will give you the how well the asset is being utilized in a company, and their asset is over here plane, and that has to be utilized, right? That is the thing. And you can probably see average kgs per trip, which will roughly give you the volume growth. But over here now, why am I telling you can't look at the other item is because, like for example, average revenue per trip. Okay, although it is a good metric, मतलब जितना आपका average revenue बढ़ रहा है per trip, उतना आपका value growth भी हो रहा है, which means like you are charging more probably for one trip, or you are having a good value growth. But it is a very flawed concept, is because the average revenue that is there per trip depends on two things. One is on the route. Okay, जितना बड़ा route होगा, उतना आपका revenues उसमें ज़्यादा होगा. Like for example, shipping a courier from India to US will be more expensive than, let's say, from India to UAE. That is one thing. The second is, again, like depending average kg per trip also is a very flawed concept because of the same thing, that depending on the size of the good, it comes down to. And when you talk about an air cargo, the size of the good can vary by a huge margin, right? On one day you are having a project cargo, on the other day you are probably sending hardly some, like a piece of paper, some document from point A to point B. So although, like, yes, on a certain metric, like on a certain metric, I would say this that is there is like a bit of a flawed concept, but again, you can still take it. It is very important, that these two increase, because it just shows you that, यहाँ पे एक pricing power आता है when you talk about, you can increase the number revenues per trip that you're charging and everything. Like I told you, I do not know if this is good or bad, because I do not have Q1 FY25 ka data. I do not know Q1 FY25 में what was the volume handled, what was the average revenue per trip, what was the average kg per trip, how many number of trips they performed. I do not know what is Q1 FY25 ka data, and if I don't have the past ka data, how can I compare it to the present ka data and tell if it is good or bad, right? Matlab, that is the thing. But overall, it looks like, again, please focus on my language over here more. It looks like it is good, because otherwise it would be impossible for them to go from 40 crore to almost 120 crore, in the last 1 year, if both volume, value, and the number of trips that is there, if that didn't go up. Okay. Then उसके बाद हम देखते हैं the other things, just like आपका EBITDA margins, PAT margins, and everything. EBITDA margin also is also good, because उनका target is to reach 1,000 crore in FY26, and in terms of revenue, and EBITDA margin of 30%. You can see in Q1 FY26 the EBITDA margin is at 28.57, and this is really good. I'll tell you why. Because like I told you, the kind of margins that you can expect from this company is razor thin, because of the amount of people that are involved in such a simple operation. So the kind, because they have this really high EBITDA margin, that is quite surprising, to say the least. Okay. Now, ye hote hai pura ka pura, I believe, the business model, the guidance, and everything, that we have explained. I will finally touch upon one thing, that is the cash flows and balance sheet of this company. But before I touch upon, as you know, you will get your balance sheet and cash flows only in the month of only in the quarter of Q2 and Q4. You won't get it in Q1 and Q3 respectively. So the balance sheet and cash flows are of Q4, and this is 6 months old. This is 6 months old balance sheet and cash flows. It is not the current cash flows. So take it with a pinch of salt, because अगर मैं ये नहीं करते, आप लोग बोलते हो देखो आपने ये नहीं किया balance sheet में blah 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 blah. I don't want to hear that nonsense, right? So I'm going to do that and show it to you. But please take it with a pinch of salt. Why am I telling is because the business has changed a lot in the last 6 months, and with the new fleet joining, they're planning to do QIP also and everything. So when you look at the Q2 balance sheet and cash flow, it could be drastically different than what you see in the current one. Okay, पहला बात करते yeah, let's first talk about book value. Book value has increased by almost, I think, book value has increased by 14%, 13.8. One thing I'm really surprised over here is, bhai, matlab iska sara ratios are too good to be true. I'm being very honest, because first of all, you're a B2B business, and on top of that, you're operating in the worst sector you could operate, that is the airline sector. And on that, you are operating as a middleman over here, not as a complete end-to-end solution. So the fact that you have such clean balance sheet, like, I'm actually very surprised, to be honest. It's too good to be true, like I told you. Or maybe it is also because, like I told you, this entire company is founded, or by these ex-defense officers, like aapka Army, Air Force, and Navy ka log jo hai, they came together and they started this. Maybe that is why it is this good. I mean, I don't know. Okay, and I somehow believe, like, see, ultimately anyone can fudge your financial statement. Like, who knows? Like, आपने auditor को पैसा दिया है, so he will also do it for you. I'm not telling, by the way, please, I'm not telling that these people have done it. But again, like I told you, this is why I tell you, like, always track the sales growth. जब आप sales growth में problem आता है, then everywhere tick, like domino effect, every जगह में problem आता है. But overall, I'm really surprised. Like, very good, very clean balance sheet, especially in this sector. आप कोई भी logistics company का balance sheet उठा के देखो, terrible. Okay, and the fact that they have this, I have a lot of respect for them. Maybe that's also because a lot of these people, like I told you, the officers, they're ex or captain, ex wing commander, and all of it. Maybe that is why there is this good balance sheet and cash flows. So agar aap iska current asset by current liability dekhte ho, if you look at any ratios, current ratios, quick ratios, flawless. Current ratio agar aap dekhte ho is 2, quick ratio agar aap dekhte ho is around 1.8. Debt to equity is also not bad over here, because if you look at it over here, long term borrowings is hardly like what, hardly ye millions mein hai, okay, lakhs mein is hardly 74 lakhs, right? Nothing to worry. 74 lakhs is not a big deal, because considering up 27 crore ka profit kar chuke hain one quarter, this is okay, right? Not to worry about it. The only majority you can see the debt is coming from where is the short term borrowings, which is 32 crore. Last time 25 था, 32 है अभी. Not a huge increase over here, because कितना है 7 by 25. Not a huge increase, 30% increase हुआ है on a year-on-year basis, and this is quite understandable now, because think about it. Once you have to make sure your what is it, your items get delivered, and after that you get paid, right? You have to do the work first and then you get paid, right? And इसके वजह से, and in these kind of industries, your payment cycle can range somewhere between 45 to even worst case scenarios 90 to 180 days also. So I understand यहाँ पे working capital में crunch आ सकता है. So as a result, short-term borrowings going up is completely okay. So the majority of the debt you can see is in this current liabilities itself, working capital ka. Debt to equity is also not that bad, totally okay. Okay. Other than that, if you see ROE that is there, ROE has gone down a little bit. Now ROE has gone down as a result of PAT not being that great in the last year. Last year ka PAT was hardly 1 crore that is there. There was no exceptional items or anything, but unka jo, the sales didn't grow at a remarkable rate from 24 to 25. Maybe because unka utna sara fleet nahi tha, kuch nahi tha. That could be the reason. I do not know what was the reason, but the PAT, as you can see, was hardly 62 lakhs ka PAT tha. Do not know if यहाँ पे defect tax क्या था, everything. Maybe because of that ROE has gone down. The other thing, lastly, I want to talk about is the cash flow from operations. आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे net cash that is there, right? Net cash from operating activities, it is positive, although it has reduced, but still it is positive, right? It is 11 crore. Last time it was 27 crore. यहाँ पे अगर आप देखते हो receivables जो है, receivables has increased, but the net increase in receivables is less. मतलब अगर आप 2023 से 2023 से, wait, which cash flows am I seeing here? Crazy. This is 30th June 2025. Oh wow, I didn't even check the date, man. They gave the cash flows for, I'm having a realization right now. Whoa. Wait. No wonder my ROE ka calculation was coming wrong at that time. I did a mistake. Oh, oh guys, this is like 3 months ka thing. Crazy. They gave 3 months ka thing. Oh yeah, they give 3 months where they give cash flows and all. Oh, I think all hail the officers, man. I'm actually surprised. I actually didn't check the date. I thought this was 2024 March and 2025 March. And oh, wow, really great. I'm having a epiphany, guys. Ah, wow, impressive. If that is the case, then excellent, bro. Like excellent stuff. But oh, no wonder my ROE calculation. I was thinking like, why am I getting ROE less? Completely okay. But anyways, let's go to the cash flows. Even when you look at the cash flows that is there from the last 3 months, great. Nothing like this is the entire year ka cash flows, and this is just a quarter ka cash flows. Look how great it has improved. Now then 27 crore tha, abhi 11 crores hai just in one quarter. So I'm pretty sure by the end of the year it should be much better. Another thing over here, net increase in receivables is less, right? So again, यहाँ पे trade receivables बढ़ना भी completely is justifiable, because it takes around, like I told you, 45 to 85, 90 days. I would say even 60 to 90 days for your money to come back. There will always be a working capital crunch, right? Overall, clean cash flows आप देख सकते हो, उतना कुछ यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है. Clean cash flows, clean balance sheet. I've never seen, at least in this sector, मैंने कभी, मैं सच में बोल रही हूँ, आज तक मैंने कोई भी लॉजिस्टिक सेक्टर को आप उठा के देख लो, इतना क्लीन कैश फ्लोज, इतना क्लीन बैलेंस शीट आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. एंड And I think again, like I'm reiterating the statement, like maybe and maybe, this entire thing is coming as, because of who's running the business. Maybe the founders, because of, since they're army officers and everything, they have high ethics. Maybe that's why that is there. Okay. But anyways, the last thing that we will talk about over here is the entire thing we'll talk about is evaluation and everything. First of all, if they do that 1000 crore in terms of revenue, matlab, and I'm assuming like if they do that, probably they will do 100 crores in PAT, then it is roughly a 1 year forward P of 22 to 25, 28, somewhere in that range. But forget about the valuation. If somebody is telling you they're going to 3x and they're going to like triple the revenue in a span of 1 year, like what evaluations you want to look at it? I mean, let's be very honest, what valuation can it even be expensive if they're 3xing the revenue? But the entire risk over here, let's talk about the risk. The valuation is not the risk over here. The risk comes is mainly execution risk, which is the fleet being onboarded on time. And if that doesn't happen, then that becomes a huge, they will not be able to do that 1000 crore, and it might not be as lucrative. So that is one thing. And as of now, you can see, right, Wojo third fleet, which was supposed to be joined in September of 10th, it is already September 17th. It hasn't come. The second thing that we have to talk about over here is the third party risk. When I tell third party risk, here you can, any airlines that they are associated with, uska agar, yahan pe kuch they don't renew the contract and everything, then the entire route can get cancelled. So this is a third party risk. The biggest risk over here is the regulatory risk. You never know at the end of the day, because the entire airline sector is a highly regulated industry. You've got the DGCA, you've got the government involved, all of these people that are there, and they might come and impose certain kind of law, certain kind of, they might charge a certain percentage, which can make the entire thing expensive, or it can put a lot of roadblocks in your operations. This is like a risk. I can tell all of the couple of risks that I told you, that is a third party risk and the regulatory risk. It is a known unknown risk. This kind of risk is there in the industry, but it is an unknown because you do not know if it will ever happen in your lifetime, or if it happens, when it will happen. That is why I tell it is a known unknown risk that is there. And the last thing risk I would say is your provisions, because over here, like I told you, since you're dealing with cargoes and everything, right? And these, like for example, if you're transporting gold and silver, let's say from UAE to India, you have to get it done for your client. These are like highly insured products that are there. And maybe sometimes something happens, in maybe the flight, kuch accident ho gaya wahan pe. Who's like, yahan pe you have to have good provisions over here. I hope they have really good insurance and everything. It is completely covered, but it can go from their pocket also. That is also there. Or sometimes the other provision risk is you might have done the delivery, but your partners that is there, your clients that are there, have not paid you. This is also like one of the things that can arise. Why they have not paid you? There could be a whole another reason. Maybe that company itself has gone bust. And this has happened a lot of times in the airline industry, right? Like, for example, like they might have to collect some payment, could be from an airline industry, could be from some airline company or anybody else. And that company goes completely bust and they will have to do the provision for this. This is also another risk that is there, that is associated with these kind of companies. Overall, I would say all of the risk that we mentioned above are mostly known unknown risk, but the biggest risk remains the execution risk. They need to be able to execute, they need to be able to join at least the two fleets that are there. One is in September and one is in October. Those two fleet becomes very, very important. I would say imperative to say the least, to join their organization. And if that happens, I think that 1000 crore becomes a cakewalk. That is very, very, very important. It all comes down to that, I believe. So overall, a good opportunity. And one thing that really surprised me is, the company has been walking the talk. I've been tracking this company for quite some time. So for the couple of quarters that they have posted result and everything, they are walking the talk. I understand over here, the entire thing, they might be very bullish, like September May third fleet aa sakta hai. But there are a lot of middlemen involved over here, and it can take a lot of time. But as an investor, I understand that as a business prospect. But as an investor over here, none of that matters. All that matters is sales number, and that is very important. If that is not there, no matter how good you are, none of it matters. So that's the harsh reality. But yeah, let's see if let's track this company and we will see if they will be able to do that 1000 crore. If again, more than 1000 crore, we need to pray that those two airlines, those two fleet will join by September and October respectively. Anyways, that's that with this Afcom Holdings that is there. Bada video hi ban gaya. I didn't think the video will be so long. I think it's a 50 minutes video. But anyways, that's that with this video. And just another time, a small reminder that the investment checklist workshop ka, the prices that is there, we are going to hike it up to 5,000 by 9 p.m. today. So make sure you get your hands on it jaldi before the sale runs out. And that's it, guys, for today's video. I will see you in another video. Again, this is one such small cap company. This is 2,300 crores, somewhere in that range. There are a couple of other companies that are there but they are involved in this building contracting space that is there. I will also do that. But maybe not today. I'm literally I'm literally tired. Anyways, guys, that's that, and have a great day. Bye.